Kingsmen baseball is on the air. It's Kingsmen varsity action, non-conference between the Kingsmen and the Blacksmiths of P27. Nehemiah Barnes is on the mound for the Kingsmen here in the guest half of the first. Just one game on tap for you today. I'm Griffin Leonard along for the ride as the Kingsmen battle the Blacksmiths. Took 2 games in Lexington, South Carolina last week against P27. The Kingsmen varsity team has won 4 games in a row, dating back to the final game of the Georgia Premier Road Series a couple of weeks ago. Defensively for the Kingsmen, Dino Catani, Caden McNeil, and Brody Winan in the outfield. And then it's Ashton Bowes, Logan Daniel. You have Eli Thomas at second and Montgomery Hart at first. Catron catching Barnes. He throws one more down to the plate, and P27 will send up its first hitter of the game. Seth Eckroth, Bryce Munchell, and Jose Dubron. The first 3. 12 hitters in the P27 order. Those are the first 3. We'll walk you through the full lineup in just a moment. Nemo Barnes starting the game. He started game 2 against P27 1 week ago. Fought back from a tough first inning to really lock in and give the Kingsmen 4 good innings on the mound in that contest. First pitch is in the strike zone, called against Eckroth, wearing the number 38. Said 33 on the lineup card, but he's wearing the number 38. Eckroth at the plate, now behind 0-1. That one in the dirt, missed a foot or 2 in front of home plate, and the count is even. One pitch. Off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. There's a swing. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Facing Eckroth, Munchell, and then Dubron. 3-2.
Let's go.
And the 3-2 swung on and missed. Eckroth down swinging for out number 1. Full batting order for P27. Eckroth, Munchell, Dubron, then Andy Perez, Isaac Sanchez, Jack Jones, Matthias Frazier, C.J. Prentice, Ben Jenkins, Eric Aristi, Smith Brinson, and Matt Blankenship. 12 in the order. This is hitter number 2. Bryce Munchell digs in. The first pitch from Barnes is away from the plate and away from Catron. 1-0. One pitch from Nemo is popped foul over the cover of these home plate bleachers here at Bill Masters Field. 1-1.
Hey, I'm not much. Let's go, Gary. Somebody here. What?
Final game of the week for the KBA. Varsity looking for another victory, this time here at home. That's low. It's the first home game for the varsity team in quite some time. That's a line drive into left field, and it is down in front of Catani. He dropped the ball, and it got into the gap. Oh, boy. Here's Caden McNeil, who has trouble with it as well. Munchell on his way to third. And that ball bouncing all the way to third base. A tough one in the outfield for the Kingsmen. That's a single, and then the error on Dino to give 2 more bases to Bryce Munchell. That can't happen. Runner on third and 1 out for Jose Dubron.
Hey, head to the pros. Send them to drive here.
Infield going to stay back here in the top of the first inning. First pitch to Dubront is in there for a strike. Got it, 0-2. Jose Dubront, one of the premier P27 players playing in this varsity game, getting a bat or two in, had a home run against the Kingsmen. In that game, that was Brandon Falk on the mound who gave up the home run. That ball hit second base side. Long play for Thomas. He stumbled, and it'll be scored likely as an infield hit with the run coming in to score to make it 1-0. Tough play into the middle of the infield for Eli Thomas, ranging away from first base. Even if he kept his footing, would have been a difficult throw to get the second out. Couple of small mistakes in the field, adding up here early, though, for P27, taking full advantage, leading 1-0. Nemo trying to recover here against Andy Perez. He misses downstairs, 1-0. Andy Perez, right-hand side, 1-0 pitch, and takes a big cut, 1-1 after the swing and a miss. And another mistake on the infield, that time not hurting the Kingsmen. Catron threw it back to Barnes and missed the pitcher. Luckily, Eli Thomas was there to back it up. Kingsmen are going to need to settle in defensively pretty quick here. At the top of the first inning, that ball high, 2-1. Mo Barnes has been good on the mound his last few starts. Mentioned it, 4 innings in his last start against these very same P27 Blacksmiths. There's a line drive into center and in front of McNeil. Hits racking up for the Blacksmiths. That is 3 in a row. Similar first inning from the last time Barnes pitched against P27 that saw 3 doubles against him in that first inning. They found barrels early, but then Barnes was able to settle in and calm the waters. See if we can get a ground ball to do so here. There's a swing and a miss from Isaac Sanchez. We're in the number 32. There's a swing and a miss again to make it 0-2. This next pitch will be Nemo's 20th, facing off against Chase Pollock in the ball game.
Hey, battle here. Tough and 2 here, tough and 2.
Quick throw over to first, no tag from Hart. The ball's in 2 strikes, pickoff move complete. And now Barnes back on the mound from the stretch. Big lead at second, runners taking off, the ball is low and in. They'll throw down to second, tag from Thomas in time. Nice throw from Jack Catron to get Andy Perez at second base. They catch him stealing when there are 2 outs in the inning. Dubront steals third, so a runner on third with 2 outs, but just 1-0, and a chance to get out of the frame. Catron sets up shop. Here's Nemo's pitch. Ground ball third base side. Daniel, the backhand stop, throws across the infield. The stretch from Hart in time for out number 3. So the Kingsmen get out of the first with only 1 across, despite 3 hits from the Blacksmiths. The offense will try to answer when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
Kingsman #1, Caden McNeil.
Bottom of the first here in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. I'm Griffin Leonard. 1-0 is the score. P27 grabs an early run. They're facing McNeil, Daniel, and Hart. Here is Caden McNeil, the first pitch. He rips it foul, 0-1. Chase Pollock is on the mound today. If I'm reading P27's lineup card correctly, they have their pitchers planned out for a couple innings each. And Pollock, the first to pitch, 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Inside.
Got a battle now.
1-2. Curveball in there, and McNeil down with the bat on his shoulder. One away for Logan Daniel.
Now batting #2, Logan Daniel.
Daniel watches the first pitch outside corner. The fastball is called a strike. 0-1. That one ran inside and hit Daniel. He's on first here with only one out. Opportunity for the Kingsmen to answer back after the first run of the inning came from the P27 Blacksmiths, excuse me. 3 hits in a row from Munchell, Dubront, and Perez.
Now batting #12, Montgomery Hart.
That's low for ball 1. That's our inside corner that time on the left-handed hitter. Hart out of the state of Ohio. Quick throw over to first. Back safely with a dive is Logan Daniel. Catches the zone with that one to make it 1-2. Bernie on deck, then Catani. And ball and 2 strikes here with 1 away. 1-0, P27 with the early lead over the Kingsmen. A couple of Carolina academies going at it. Non-conference action here at Gardner-Webb. Another throw over to first. Back safely, Daniel again. He was hit by a pitch. 1 batter ago.
Don't give up on anything. 12.
1-2 to the lefty. And Hart rips it opposite field. Coming in on it is Perez, and he makes the catch as it was hit hard but right at the left fielder. Bernie up with 2 away, and the runner still planted at first. Good piece off the bat of Gummy. In the top of the second, we'll see Jack Jones, Matthias Frazier, and C.J. Prentice. 6, 7, 8. Bernie up at the plate.
Now batting for 25, Christian Bernie.
First pitch. Missed out. 1-0. That one got Bernie on his elbow. 2 hit by pitches in the inning. Second and first with 2 away. So Dino Catani has the opportunity with a couple of men on and 2
Now
outs.
batting #11, Landon Catani.
Oh, here we go, 2 out. All right, full field. Push. Go, ready. Now, chance to go, kid. Good work.
Runners on the move, first pitch, and it's hit high in the air to left field. Running toward the foul line after it is Perez. He slides and makes a nice catch in foul ground to get Catani and end the inning. We head to the second, 1-0 here. The Kingsmen and P27 return when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Non-conference baseball resumes here in the second inning. Nemo Barnes out of the windup. And his first pitch to Jack Jones is a swing and a miss. In there for a strike to make it 0-1. The Kingsmen battling P27 here in the third game the two teams have played in the last 2 weeks. Scheduled initially for 4, but the schedule changes of this week shook that up a little bit. Now 1-1. The original schedule for the week was supposed to be 3 prospect games between Monday and Tuesday in Richmond, and then a Wednesday doubleheader with P27 down in Lexington. But because the prospect series got moved to Wednesday and Thursday, that doubleheader had to get canceled. This one scheduled in its place, and then, of course, the varsity team getting their second game of the weekend in Goldsboro against ECA. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Kingsmen were victorious in that one. A good performance that would have seen them win in 5 innings in a mercy rule had they stopped the game, but got the final 2 innings in. For the purpose of reps, the game ended 12-3 after being 12-2 at the end of 5. 2 balls and 2 strikes after the foul ball from Jones. It's Jones, Frazier, and Prentice here in the top of the second. And Barnes is going to step off and reset things. Wind blowing out to right field. A nice day at Gardner-Webb. 2-2. Outside corner. Strikeout to begin the inning. Second strikeout of the game for Barnes. He struck out Eckroth to begin the first, and now he has the K on Jones, the extra hitter.
Now batting number 63, Matthias Frazier.
So Frazier, the catcher, will hit with 1 out and nobody on. Same situation as the first. Munchel, Dubront, and Perez answered with 3 singles back-to-back-to-back. But Barnes dropping in a nice one to the strike zone to make it 0-1 here with 1 away.
Yeah.
1-1. 1-1 pitch. And that's on the inner half. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was swung on and missed by Frazier. I think it had the zone anyway. Infield of Bose, Daniel, Thomas, and Hart. We'll see if they're tested here in the second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Out of the windup, Barnes has his sign and comes home. Just missed with the backdoor slider, 2-2. Out of the windup, 2-2 pitch. And he spiked that one, 3-2 is the count. CJ Prentice is on deck for P27. Did not see him in game number 2 of Friday's doubleheader after he had played game number 1. 3-2 pitch. Got him! Low and away corner, and back-to-back looking strikeouts for Nehemiah Barnes. 2 down. So here is C.J. Prentice giving a fist bump to Jack Cation on his way to the plate. First time the Kingsmen have seen him since that first game of the doubleheader. And Nemo Barnes out of the windup throws his first pitch to the plate outside. Prentice had that collision with Montgomery Hart in the first game of the doubleheader last Friday in Lexington. That left Hart shook up, returned to prospect action, and is back at first base again in this one. There's a chop ground ball foul. Got a little bit of the bat to make it 1-1. One pitch with 2 away. Tap ground ball third base side under the glove of Bose and into left field. Tracking it down is Catani as Prentice rounds first and heads to second. And there is a runner in scoring position with 2 down. And that looked fieldable for Bose at the hot corner. Just didn't get that glove down far enough to backhand snag the baseball. Officially scored an E5. Ben Jenkins, the center fielder, has a man in scoring position and 2 away. 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. First pitch out of the stretch of the inning, a curveball, a beauty from Barnes, 0-1. Bottom of the second, we'll see Bose, Winant, and Catron. 6, 7, 8 in the Kingsmen order after they stranded second and first in the first. 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt, blocked by Catron. Runner halfway between the bases. He retreats to second, and the count is 1-1. Encouragement from the Kingsmen dugout after Catron blocked that one and got it out front of him heading to third base. Would have been an easy throw had Prentice tried to test him. Barnes steps off and calls out Catron to have a quick chat. Outfield for the Kingsmen, Catani, McNeil, and Winant. Infield, Bose, Daniel, Thomas, Hart. Jack Catron, the catcher, returning to his crouch here. 1-1. The inning continues after Ben Jenkins. We'd see Eric Aristi in the 10-hole. Nemo uncorks the 1-1. And it's inside, low as well, 2-1. That one blocked by Catron, and it gets away this time. Prentice, 90 feet. The count is 3-1 after the ball. And P27 threatening here with 2 away. Nemo had a runner on third and 2 outs in the top of the first after Andy Perez was caught stealing down at second. He was able to get Isaac Sanchez to ground into the 6-3 ground ball out. to escape the inning. But now there's runners on the corners as Barnes walks Jenkins. 40 pitches even for Nemo. Eric Aristi to the plate.
Now batting number 7, Eric Aristi.
So corners with 2 away. Infield back, of course, with 2 outs. And the first pitch, a cue shot, first base side. Barnes off the mound to grab it, flips to first, and is in time to get Eric Aristi at first. That was very close. But the Kingsmen salvaged the inning without a run. We head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. To the bottom of the second we go, and it's the third baseman, Ashton Bowes, leading things off for the KBA. First pitch from Pollock. Outside edge, gets the strike call, and it is 0-1. Out of the windup, 0-1 pitch. And again getting the call. That one looked a little bit farther to the outside corner, but gets the decision from the umpire. 0-2, Wynant on deck, and a ground ball foul to stay alive. It's Bowes, Wynant, and Catron. Breaking ball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See you well.
And Bowes strikes out for out number 1. Kingsmen trying to get the bats going. Have not had a hit yet in the ball game. That's the second strikeout for Pollock. And here's Brody Wynant in the 7-hole today.
Now batting number 35, Brody Wynant.
Strike in there to make it 0-1. Wynant in right field today for the Kingsmen. Behind 0-2 here. Had a walk and scored in the ECA game on Tuesday. That win on the road in Goldsboro. 0-2 count. Slider away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 0-2 to Brody. And that one in there for a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the second as Catron will come up to try to get this inning started. Similar to the top of the second inning, which saw 2 strikeouts from Nemo Barnes.
Jack Catron.
Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go.
That's a ground ball from Catron right back up the middle, and the pitcher, Pollock, will take it to the bag himself. Unassisted for the pitcher, we head to the third. 1-0. It remains here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Into the third we go.
P27 at the top of the third, 44, Smith Brinson.
New pitcher on the mound for the Kingsmen, Nemo Barnes, done after 2 innings. Getting some pitchers some work today. And A.J. Griffith, the next into the ball game. First pitch of the day for A.J. is in there for a called strike. Facing 11, 12, and 1 here in the P27 order in the third inning. Brinson, Blankenship, and Eckroth. That one off the plate. Griffith in relief of Max Raley. The last time these two teams faced off, it was game 1 of that doubleheader on Friday, and AJ came in, did a huge service. Gets the strike on the lower outside corner, 1-2. Griffith came in and really shut down the P27 offense. And that one coming in the second inning. It's a ball to make it 2-2. It was 5-1 at the time. The Kingsmen came back and won 7-6. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out here. Brinson with Blankenship on deck. And just off the outside edge. Griffith thought he might have had him, but it's 3-2. I'd like to welcome you into the broadcast here, wherever you may be tuning in. Thanks for spending some of your Friday with us. A lot of games on today. Thanks for choosing the KBA. 3-2. And a walk to start the third. Brinson on first with nobody out.
Now batting number 3, Matt Blankenship.
Matt Blankenship, the right fielder at the bottom of the order for the Blacksmiths of P27. Griffith out of the stretch against him, and there's a high fly ball into left center field. Long run into the gap, and it falls in between the outfielders. Catani fields it bare hand off the wall, whipping it in to Daniel. Stop sign is on, and now both runners heading for third. Excuse me. Disaster on the base paths for P27. Blankenship tried to turn it into a triple, and when Brinson stopped at third, he was a dead duck. He was tagged out by Bose. Credit to Ashton Bose for being all over that situation. Beautiful relay for the Kingsmen, 7-6 to 5.
Now batting number 38,
With
Seth
Catani getting it into Daniel, and then Daniel throwing out Blankenship with Ashton Bose applying the tag. Now the infield comes in with one away, and the top of the order is up. Breaking ball in there to make it 0-1. So a double on the play, and then the out recorded at third base. Now a chopper that rolls harmlessly toward the third base dugout. Quickly 0-2 to Eckroth. Seth Eckroth struck out to begin this ball game. The first of 3 strikeouts for Nehemiah Barnes in his 2 innings of starting pitching. Oh-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Drop third strike, and Eckroth is out for the second out.
Now batting number 47, Bryce Munchell.
That ball gets to the backstop. The first pitch from Griffith to Munchell, and the run comes in on the wild pitch to make it 2-0. That's a tough one for the Kingsmen, who had done a good job to get the strikeout at the plate, keeping the runner there with one away, only to see the run come in without the ball being put between the lines. 1-0 is the count, 2 away, 2-0 ball game. The Kingsmen set to bring De La Cruz, Thomas, and McNeil to the plate in the third. Breaking ball, hit foul, first base side, 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 away. And Griffith fires to the plate. Breaking ball in there, 1-2. 2-0 ball game, P27 up on the Kingsmen. KBA's varsity team looking for its 5th win in a row. Griffith going to step off. 2 strikes to Munchell, who singled and scored the first run of the game. Was the only runner to come in to score before Smith Brinson here in this third. 1-2. Outside, and the count is even at 2 apiece. Two up on the scoreboard here in the third. And the pitch from AJ. Just enough of that one. Munchell fighting the fastball off. Jose Dubron is on deck for P27 if the third inning requires another hitter.
Here we go. 2-2. What?
2-2 again from A.J. Griffith. Curveball just high, 3-2.
Win it here. Win it.
3-2 again. And this one skied, left side foul. Bo's chasing, Catron coming, and the ball falls foul. Catron overran it.
Keep battling.
Catron got a late break on that baseball. Didn't see it initially up in the air. Bose was chasing, but the ball was closer to home plate than it was third. Catron got there, but just took a step too far. So the count is still 3-2. 2-0 to the Kingsmen in the gold uniforms trying to get out of this third inning. Griffith fires another payoff. And the curveball sat on and driven to left. Catani ranging over and makes the catch. So we head to the bottom of the third. One more on the board for the visitors. 2-0. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Blacksmiths and the Kingsmen continue here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom of the third, 2-0. De La Cruz leads it off, and Matt taps it back up the middle, off the pitcher's glove, off the mound to retrieve a sidearm throw in time. A beauty of a play from Jose Dubront, the new pitcher on the mound for P27. One out here in the third.
Now batting for 34, Eli Thomas.
So here's the bottom of the Kingsmen's order. Eli Thomas had a couple of really good at-bats the last time that he squared off against P27. First pitch from Dubront, whistles in there for a called strike. 0-1. So once again, the Kingsmen's varsity team seeing a pitcher from P27's top roster. We'll see how Thomas does against him. 0-1. Zips that fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball third base side. The shortstop comes in. Munchell shuffles and throws. Stretch close to off the bag, but the first base umpire said that Sanchez kept it planted. 2 outs as we go to the top of the order here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting number 1, Caden McNeil.
Outside corner, 0-1.
Not a bad idea either. Go. Go one right here, Cat. Let's go, Carter. You go, Carter. Oh, that's go better. What's up?
And now 0-2. If the inning continues, Logan Daniel will come to the plate for the second time. Top of the fourth, we'll see Dubront, Perez, and Sanchez for the visitors. 0-2 to the Kingsmen's first hitter, and it's tapped up the middle. Tough play and into center. First hit of the ball game for the Kingsmen, and it's Caden McNeil. He stands on first with 2 away for Logan Daniel.
Now batting number 2, Logan Daniel.
Don't expect him to stick around on first base for too long. Didn't have really much of a chance to steal a bag in the DSC Prospect Series. But with the Kingsmen's offense hard to come by in the first few innings, expect to see the Kingsmen try to get him in scoring position. Logan Daniel. And there he goes. First pitch, outside fastball. Throw down is late, and a stolen base right on cue for Caden McNeil. He's on second with 2 away. 0-1. Logan was hit by a pitch his first time around. He can find a way aboard. There's the potential for the Kingsmen to score their first run of the game. Oh, and 1 pitch. Daniel chops it. Second base side. The second baseman shaded over, but a tough play. High throw, the stretch, and called out at first base. The first baseman, Sanchez, jumped up a little bit, but was able to tiptoe his way back onto the bag. We head to the fourth. The Kingsmen put a runner in scoring position once again, but cannot find a way home. It's 2-0 as we head to the fourth inning. Varsity Baseball continues here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Griffith back on the mound here in the fourth at Gardner-Webb University. Bill Masters Field, the site of today's single game between the Kingsmen and P27. Thanks for joining us here on this Friday afternoon in North Carolina. 1-0. And the second pitch of the inning is a swinging strike. Dubront out in front of that one. Jose Dubront started the game as the extra hitter, 1 of 3, but is now pitching for Gardner-Webb. Expect him to come back out for one more in the fourth. 1-1. Here's a chopper foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dubront had that single down the middle of the field. Got to second on the Perez single and then stole third base. Winan make an adjustment in the outfield. And the 1-2. And the curveball sits in and gets Jose Dubront. Looking strikeout.
Now batting number 29, Andy Perez.
That is the second strikeout for A.J. Griffith since coming into the game. And now facing Andy Perez. Gets a swinging strike there. Griffith's off-speed has been sensational in his last couple of appearances. He's been able to keep hitters guessing with the combination of his breaking ball, kick change, and his fastball. 0-1. Goes back to the off-speed, but left it upstairs. 1-1. Up and in, 2 balls and a strike. It's Perez and then Sanchez. Isaac Sanchez, the next hitter. Jack Jones, if P27 gets through the minimum. Two 1 from AJ. Goes back to the breaker. It's low. 3 balls and a strike. 2-0 here in the top of the fourth. Non-conference 7-inning game for you today. The Kingsmen will have the next couple of days off from the games, but a busy schedule nonetheless. 3-1. Fastball hit third base side. Bose with a nice up scoop. Throws to first high, and it pulls Hart off the bag. Second error of the game for Ashton Bose at the hot corner. Perez is on with 1 away.
Give me another ground ball.
Isaac Sanchez at the plate.
Now batting number 32, Isaac Sanchez.
Up with 1 on and 1 out. And here comes the P27 third base coach strolling around the diamond. Only 2 batters late in this fourth inning. First pitch. Griffith misses outside and it gets by Catron. More than a few inches off the plate with that curveball. It's 1-0. And the runner now on second. Mentioned it a second ago, the Kingsmen with a busy weekend despite no games. Tomorrow, a trip to the airport. They'll board a flight to Houston tomorrow night. That one again away, but Catron able to snag it 2-0. Team flying to Houston Saturday night, Sunday mostly off. I believe the team will attend church together somewhere in the Houston area Sunday morning, but to my knowledge, practice or anything to that effect has not been scheduled. Hits the outside corner with that one to make it 2-1. Games starting Monday, 1 game Monday, 1 game Wednesday, and then both the prospect and the varsity teams will be going at it on Wednesday, or rather on Tuesday, excuse me. 1 Monday, 2 Tuesday, and 1 Wednesday. In the Houston trip, the team will fly home Wednesday, and then they'll finally have some well-deserved time off. 3 balls and a strike, 1 away here in the fourth. Jones on deck after the at-bat is over with Isaac Sanchez. 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
3-2. Isaac, my kid.
1 Full count. One away here in the fourth. Kingsmen being out hit 4-1. Trying to keep P27 contained here in the middle inning of this game.
Nobody better. Let's go. Nobody better.
It's away for a walk. Second walk for AJ, his first since the first hitter he saw. Now the error and the walk mean 2 base runners in a row for P27 without a hit, and Jack Jones comes up with men on second and first. Left-handed hitter at the plate against Griffith, so he'll have to keep the ball away from that left-hand side batter's box.
50, Jack Jones.
Hey, watch your back, man.
High for a ball. Kingsman looking for another ground ball. They got a ground ball with one away off the bat of Perez, but the error in the infield. Daniel and Thomas keeping the runner honest at second. That one in there to make it 1-1. It's a foul tip into the glove of Catron, 1-2. One and two here with one away. Frazier on deck. Both Jones and Frazier struck out looking their first time up against Barnes. 1-2. And that one high to extend this plate appearance. Long time in between pitches here at Gardner-Webb University. Nice site for the game today. Seems to be a quieter day on campus. Friday afternoon in Boiling Springs.
Your box, get your box. Right.
2-2 coming up here with one out. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, win it right here. Win it. Win it. 3-2.
Nothing in the bullpen right now for the Kingsmen that we can see. A.J. Griffith will look to get this batter. Big one with one out. Couple of men on base. 3-2 pitch. And a foul ball, that one at the very top of the zone. Might have been a little bit high, but aided with the swing, but Jones able to get just enough on it to extend the at-bat. Jones, Frazier, then Prentice. The Kingsmen with 4-5-6 due up, or rather 3-4-5 due up in the bottom of the fourth to face Jose Dubron, unless P27 makes a pitching change, but they're not expected to. 3-2. There's a hard line drive down the line and fair. It hit the chalk, and it's into right field. The runner at second tripped. 1 run scores. Wynant fires it, and they are sending the runner. Throw to the plate. Catron cannot bring in the baseball, and 2-run score. Sanchez comes all the way around from first, despite tripping over second base.
batting for 63, Matthias Frazier.
So a double for Jack Jones. He advanced to third on the throw home from the cutoff man. And now the infield going to come in. 4-0 is the ball game. First hit of the inning for P27, but 2 runs to show for it. Just off the plate that time, 1-0. One away still in the fourth. Kingsmen trying to win their 5th in a row at the varsity level, including their 3rd straight against P27. They've got their work cut out if they're to do that. In the dirt, 2-0. Hitters count for Matthias Frazier, who struck out looking the catcher for P27, with a chance to give the Blacksmiths their 5th. Tie ball 3. And Preston Hudak seeing enough that he wants to go out and have a chat. There has been some bullpen action down the line, and we'll see if Griffith gets the chance to finish the plate appearance against this batter. Preston Hudak staring down at his infield, but has not pointed down to the bullpen quite yet. 3 balls and no strikes when the game resumes here with 1 out. Hudak just trying to calm down his right-hand relief pitcher, A.J. Griffith out of Newton, North Carolina. 4-0 ball game, 2 runs in the inning for P27. The Kingsmen saw their first hit in the last frame with Caden McNeil finding a way on. He stole second to get into scoring position, but getting on with 2 outs, he was unable to maneuver himself home. So after the mound visit, A.J. Griffith still out there, out of the windup, 3-0 pitch, and he misses. 4-4. That puts runners on the corners. Coach Preston a couple steps out of the dugout, but not calling time to make a pitching change, simply putting on some signs. The base umpire, I believe he thought that Hudak was on his way back out to the mound. 4-0 is the score. Runners on the corners, 1 away. Griffith comes set, working out of the stretch now with the runner on first, and drops in the curveball low and away for a ball. Blacksmiths have not beaten the Kingsmen since East Cobb at the end of February. Trying to do so here, but a foul ball poked first base side. Hart chasing, could not get there as it cycles out of play, 1-1. Quick throw over to first. Back safely goes Frazier. Jack Jones is on third. Frazier is on first. C.J. Prentice, the designated hitter, is at the plate in the 8 spot. He reached on a ground ball to the third base side. It got under the glove of Ashton Bowes and into left. Another throw over to first. Prentice took second as that ball got down the line. See if Frazier tries to get into scoring position here, testing the arm of Catron. We already saw Jack Catron throw out a runner in this ball game. Fastball outside edge. That's a good one from Griffith to get himself back ahead here with 1 away. Just off the plate, 2-2.
Let's go, right in. Let's go.
2 balls and 2 strikes, still runners on first and third. Time called by Prentice right before Griffith started his motion. Two and two. 1 away. Swing and a miss. Strikeout by Griffith. Prentice down with the swing, and Ben Jenkins will come up with 2 out. A couple of glances down at the bullpen. We'll see if AJ gets the chance to finish the inning, but Hudak starts to stroll to the mound, and the answer will be no. A pitching change will be made. AJ Griffith's day is done, and we'll see who comes in for him when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here with a new pitcher on the mound, Angel Rari, the Dominican right-hander, coming in with 2 outs in the top of the 4th after the strikeout from Griffith. His day is done, and Angel trying to get the Kingsmen out of the inning. Fastball just inside to Ben Jenkins. Starts off the relief appearance. The Dominican has started a few games for the Kingsmen, but most recently has come out of the pen. He does so again here in the 4th, trying to keep this one at 4-0. Quick throw over to first. Back safely with a slide is Matthias Frazier. Actually, I believe it's a courtesy runner down there. I can't see the number, but Frazier, the catcher, do believe he is in the dugout, getting the pads on for the bottom half of the inning. After the pick move, 1-0 pitch. And fly ball to center. McNeil ranging back to his left-hand side, but he looks comfortable, makes the catch. Rory comes in and gets a big out. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 2 runs across to make it 4-0.
For P27.
Bottom of the fourth, and we resume play with a hard-hit foul ball by Montgomery Hart. Flew out to left his first time. A nice catch in foul ground by the left fielder Perez on that play. 0-1, Hart batting for the second time. His first time seeing Jose Dubront. He takes a slider just upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-0 is the score here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Kingsmen trying to get things going against P27. And Hart takes the slider on the outside half of the zone to make it 1-2. In the Kingsmen's 2 wins over P27 this last Friday in Lexington, they scored 9 runs in one of the games and 7 in the other. They're going to need some offense if they're to win this one. 1-2. And a foul ball off of either the catcher or the umpire. Either way, it's foul and still 1-2.
Hey, go with 2, go both all the way on. Ready? Ready? I'm not gonna hit.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Line drive foul.
1, 2.
One ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Hart, Bernie, and Catani. The 1-2 to Gummy is low, taken for a ball. Bernie's on deck. He was hit by a pitch his first time. The Kingsmen were hit by 2 pitches in the first inning, but were unable to score when Catani was caught out with 2 outs. 2-2 to Montgomery Hart. And Hart rips it up the middle, a base hit into center field. Second hit of the game for the Kingsmen, and it's once again a ground ball between the shortstop and the second baseman. They'll take it, particularly with the fact that there is nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. First hit with less than 2 outs, and Christian Burney up with the chance to start a big inning here.
Now batting for 25, Christian Burney.
Let's go, 2-5. Oh, now.
Right on right matchup, Dubrant's pitch, hits third base side, dropped by the third baseman Aristi, goes to first, not in time, and Burney beats it out. Back-to-back base runners for the Kingsmen on the fielding error by Eric Aristi, second and first. That's the first error from the Blacksmiths defensively in the ballgame. The inklings
Now
of a
batting
rally.
number 11, Landon Katani.
Here is Dino, who flew out. The left fielder making the sliding catch to end the first inning. Still a little ways to go for the Kingsmen, but the groundworks of a big frame. First pitch, and Dino slashes one foul. He got a pitch to hit, and it is 0-1. Katani, then Bose, then Winan. Catron and De La Cruz beyond them. The middle of the order getting things done here in the fourth inning. A 1 pitch. Inside corner. Katani kept the bat on his shoulder. He's behind 0-2.
We got to expand now. Got to put something in play. Come on, right here, 11. We go 1 in. Come on, Dean. We go 1. Right here, baby. Right here, Dino. Come now. Right here, Dino. Come now. 11. Right here. Good going. Nobody.
0-2 pitch. Just missed on the backdoor slider. A beauty out of the hand of Jose Dubrant with the count 0-2. Katani did not offer. 1-2 with nobody out. The left-hander trying to keep the line moving for the Kingsmen, down by 4 runs. 1-2. Katani lifts it foul. New ball for Jose Dubrant on the mound. The right-hander, one of the premier pitchers for the Blacksmiths. Varsity non-conference game, so no rules regarding the roster, regarding the floaters. Anybody can come and go as they please. And P27 giving one of their top guys an inning or two in this one. I'm expecting this to be his last inning of work. 1-2. Inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Let's go, right here. Come now. Let's go. Let's go, 11. Come now.
2-2 pitch. And Katani chased it low and in. Big strikeout for Dubrant, out number 1. Unfortunate out for the Kingsmen, who would have been benefited from at least getting those runners moved over with nobody out. But still on second and first, and Ashton Bose at the plate. A strikeout so far for the third baseman, trying to come alive in a big spot. Dubrant, spaghetti move to second, but no throw. First pitch. Low of the zone, 1-0.
Let's go right here, kid. Right here. Let's go.
1-0 pitch. Bose hits it hard, but foul. Looking for a gapper to get the Kingsmen right back into this game. 2 hits in the ball game for Coach Preston Hudak's team. Nothing to show for it quite yet, despite a couple of runners in scoring position. Hart at second is their third runner in scoring position in the ball game. Bose takes high, 2 balls and a strike. After Bose, it'll be Brody Winan who swings on deck. 2-1. Ashton rips it into right center. Coming in on it, the right fielder Blankenship, and he makes the catch for out number 2. it looked like that one might have had a chance to die out in front of the outfielder. But Blankenship, with a good route to it, makes the catch. And there are 2 away. Brody Wynant is going to be needed here for the Kingsmen to get this inning started after 2 early base runners.
Now batting at 35, Brody Wynant.
Hey, big 2 out hit, bros. Come on, bro. 2 out. Good here.
The leadoff single, and then benefiting from the error on the third baseman, Eric Aristi. Looking for something here from Brody. First pitch, inside corner, 0-1. In the 5th, we will see Aristi, Brinson, and Blankenship, bottom 3 of the P27 order, against Angel Rari, assuming he comes back out in the away half of inning number 5. 0-1 pitch. And a swing. Wynant was behind on it, and it's 0-2. Some encouragement from Preston Hudak at the third base coaching box, looking for some production here out of Brody Wynant. As the Kingsmen try to keep this 4th inning going, as the ball is popped up on the 0-2, playable for the second baseman Seth Eckroth, and he makes the catch in shallow right. So nothing to show for another 2 base runners. The Kingsmen have been held scoreless through 4 here in Boiling Springs. We head to the 5th, 4-0, still a ball game between P27 and the Kingsmen. We'll be back in a moment. Back here in the top of the 5th, Angel Rari back on the mound for the Kingsmen. 10, 11, 12, and there looked like it must have hit the guard. Based on the sound, it sounded like it had hit off the handle of the bat. But a hit by pitch puts the leadoff man on. Aristi heads to first, and Brinson will hit next. No argument from Catron or Rari.
Now batting, number 44.
Kingsmen jogging a couple guys down to the bullpen. Tate Johnston and Brody Wynant both running down there. I would be curious to see which of the 2 comes into pitch following Angel. Wynant was removed from this game after starting in the outfield. Which may lead me to believe that it would be Brody, but Tate also available to pitch. That ball up and in, 1-0.
Come on, Bob.
Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Rari picks to first, and the tag from Hart not in time to get Varsity. Smith Brinson is the hitter. He walked to lead off the third. It's the first hitter that A.J. Griffith saw. There's a ground ball hit right back up the middle. Nearly took a chunk out of Angel Rari. Now they backpick to second to try to get the runner who had taken a hefty lead around second base heading toward third, but he retreats in time. So it's Brinson on first with the hit, Varsity on second as the lead hitter. We're here with nobody out for Matt Blankenship.
Now batting number 3, Matt Blankenship.
So second and first, nobody out. Bottom of the order, Blankenship, who had a double into the left center field gap his first time to the plate. Squaring to bunt, the ball outside, gets just enough away from Catron that Varsity scampers to third. So corners, 1-0 is the count, nobody out. P27 primed for a couple more here in inning number 5. They've done a good job of taking advantage of opportunities here in this ballgame so far. There's a fly ball into shallow center. McNeil will play it. Runner coming in to tag. The throw home is just in front of home plate. Catron had to block it, and the run comes in to score. McNeil gave it a good effort, but a sac fly makes it 5-0 here in the 5th. One out with the runner on first, top of the order, Seth Eckroth, the next hitter. First pitch, line drive up the middle and past Daniel. No chance for Logan to get there, and it's a hit with one away. Second base hit of the inning for the Blacksmiths. Eckroth has himself his first base knock after a couple of strikeouts earlier. Munchell will come up with second and first.
Now batting number 47, Bryce Munchell.
P27 trying to get this season series to 2-2. We could do so with a win in the ball game. Up 5-0 here in the 5th. Angel Rari on the mound for his first full inning of work. 2/3 thrown so far after getting the final out of the 4th. He zipped in a fastball. 0-1 is the count here. 0-1 pitch from Angel. Outside, and it is 1-1. Expecting to see Elijah Flatt on the mound for P27 in the 5th. Flatt, one of the several down the first base line in the P27 bullpen. Looks like they're having a party down there. Ball and a strike, one away here. 5-0 game. Rari's pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Catron. Runners stay put, and it is 2-1. Popped up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, battle of 2 here, battle of 2. Let's go, Doc. Come on, pick him up. Right there for you, kid.
2 balls and 2 strikes, trying to get a big out here in the 5th. Rari delivers, and it's high and inside, 3-2. About an hour and a half into this one. 5th inning, 7 to play. Final game of the week for the KBA. Varsity 1-0 on the week, looking for their second win. It'll need to be in comeback fashion if they are to secure the W in the win column. Full count. Rari loads and fires. And it's inside, missed in a similar spot as he did with the 2-2. Munchell walks himself aboard, and Dubront will hit with the bases at their fullest.
Now batting number 33, Jose Dubront.
Corner's going to come in, at least Bose is. Hart now finally coming in. Corner's in for the Kingsmen infield, and a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Slider nicks the top edge for Rari. 0-1. Corner's in, middle infield set to turn 2 with the bases loaded and 1 away. See how the Kingsmen approach this. 0-1. Pitch to Jose Dubront. Hard hit ground ball off of the netting of the Kingsmen dugout, and it was 0-2. So Rari has himself ahead on the 3-hole hitter. Andy Perez is the next guy that would come up for the Blacksmiths. Ground ball, third base side, through. Fielded by De La Cruz. 1 run comes in. Throw in to the cutoff. And it is 7. 2 RBI single. And now second and first with 1 away. And the ground ball hit into a good spot of the infield. Corners were in. Middle infield was back. That one tapped through with no chance for either Bose or Daniel. It's the third hit of the inning for P27. And Rari, with the bases loaded, got himself a ground ball, just unable to get some luck from it. Andy Perez is the next hitter. He's reached twice, once on a hit, once on an error. He's up with runners on second and first. Spin pick from Rari, but he did not throw over. Normally you see the inside move when a pitcher spins to pick at second. That time, I guess you could just call it the outside move. He went all the way around to his glove hand side. Check swing, appeal down to second says yes. So Perez behind 0-1 as Rari gets the fastball strike. A 1 at the knees, no balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. In the bottom half, we'll see Catron, De La Cruz, and Thomas. Still plenty of time for the Kingsmen to rally. Threaten their last couple of innings offensively, just nothing on the scoreboard. There's a nice slider, and Rari gets the strikeout. First strikeout of the game for the Dominican. 2 away here in the 5th.
Now batting number 32, Isaac Sanchez.
Isaac Sanchez, the next to hit, 0-for-1. Grounder and a walk. Second and first, 2 outs. 3 runs in the inning for P27. The most productive inning of the game. First pitch, Rari slides to the plate and nails the letters for a called strike, 0-1. A 1. That's in the dirt, got away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fly ball out to right, going back on it. Dino Catani, long way to go, and he makes the catch on the glove hand side. So a couple of flyouts, a couple of runs across as well. 3 runs on 3 hits. And the Kingsmen chasing a 7-run deficit when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
P27 in the 5th.
Bottom of the 5th, the Kingsmen chasing a 7-0 P27 lead. A couple of base runners on in each of the last 2 innings, but nothing on the scoreboard yet. Yet the indicating word there, Catron starting things off. He's behind 0-1, had to ground out his first time. It's Catron, De La Cruz, and Thomas. 0-1, Jack Catron pops one high in the air toward the P27 bullpen. One of the guys down the Blacksmith bullpen attempting to rob that foul ball from heading out toward the parking lot unsuccessfully. Got up over the fence. And it is 0-2. De La Cruz on deck, the extra hitter, hitting after the Kingsman catcher. 0-2 from the lefty. Off the plate with the changeup, 1-2. New pitcher on the mound, Elijah Flatt, as expected, into the game here to pitch. He's scheduled to pitch the 5th and the 6th. 1-2. Curveball tapped to stay alive. That's a good piece of hitting from Catron. See if the Kingsmen put a new arm in the next inning. Angel Rari threw an inning and a third, but they had trotted out a couple of arms during his last inning of work. 1-2 from Catron is a foul tip, strike 3. Matt De La Cruz, the next hitter for the Kingsmen, with 1 out.
Now batting number 15, Matthew De La Cruz.
So 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Lots of space in the middle of the infield with the shortstop, shifted way over. 0-1 after the foul ball to the screen from De La Cruz. A 1 pitch in the dirt. Kingsmen have 2 hits today, courtesy of McNeil and Hart. The two of them just around the corner in the batting order, but we'll see if they hit in the 5th or in the 6th, in the 1 and 3 holes respectively. 1-1 pitch, and De La Cruz uncorks one into shallow right. The second baseman, Eckroth, ranging over. He's called off, and he face plants as Blankenship makes the catch for out number 2. Stop, drop, and roll for out number 2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Eli Thomas.
Left on right matchup as Eli Thomas digs in, takes one low and in for ball number 1. One 1-0 pitch to Eli, and he's ahead 2-0. Three balls and no strikes to Eli Thomas, who grounded out to the shortstop his first time. Caden McNeil is on deck and will hit if Eli can find a way aboard here in the 5th inning. See if he has the green light. 3-0, and off the outside corner, a 2-out walk for the Kingsmen puts Caden McNeil at the plate right-hand side. The Kingsmen trying to start a little 2-out rally here. P27.
Number 1. Caden McNeil.
Going to bring Jack Jones, Matthias Frazier, and C.J. Prentice to the plate in the 6th. As it stands, they're nursing a 7-run lead. McNeil watches fastball straight down the middle for strike number 1. Eli Thomas going to get a decent lead at first. Left-hander for flat, and the slide step is inside 1-1. It was very close to not coming set from the left-handed arm, and I wonder if the umpires, after seeing that, will be keeping a close eye on things now. 1 ball and 1 strike. No problem there. Long time looking in and drops in a blooper, the curveball in there, 1-2. Logan Daniel hitting if the inning continues. The Kingsmen have had runners on in every inning except the second, just no runs coming in to score. Two-strike pitch, hit the other way, diving and unable to get there. Eckroth, second and first with 2 away. Caden McNeil has himself another base hit.
Now batting number 2, Logan Daniel.
Strike 1 in there to Logan Daniel. Daniel 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a ground ball out. It'll be a big time for him to get his first hit of the game with Thomas on second and McNeil on first. 0-1 pitch, and Logan watches it low and away, 1-1. Reminder that the Kingsmen have the weekend off. We'll be back at it on Monday. Monday we'll see the Bennett School host the Kingsmen in Houston, Texas. 2-1 now. The varsity team squaring off on Monday, then both Prospect and Varsity having a game on Tuesday before the Prospect team wraps up the week with an away game on Wednesday against the Bennett School. 3 balls and a strike now to Logan Daniel. Hitters count. Daniel taking down the middle, 3-2. Montgomery Hart on deck. You know he would love to hit in a situation like this. And Logan Daniel trying to get the lineup to the 3-hole. Flat so far in his inning of work has allowed a walk and a single. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Down the middle and tapped foul. Daniel fighting here with 2 away.
What?
3-2 pitch. Daniel on the outside corner, and the umpire rings him up to end the inning. Once again, a frustrating end for the Kingsmen offense, which sees them get runners on, but unable to cash them in. Tate Johnston is on the mound when we come back as Angel Rari and Preston Hudak shake hands right outside the dugout. We'll step aside and be back for the 6th when we return. Top of the 6th here, and another new arm on for the Kingsmen. Tate Johnston delivers a first pitch that is grounded foul wide of the P27 first base coach. Jack Jones is the leadoff man for P27.
What?
Oh, and 1 is the count after the foul ball. Tate Johnston into the game for Rari, and a ground ball poked to the second base side. Thomas is up with it, throws a looper to Hart for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Kingsmen will be looking to hold the Blacksmiths scoreless for the first time since the 2nd inning. They've grabbed 1, 2, and 3 runs in the 3 innings that have followed the 2nd.
Now batting, number 63, Matthias Frazier.
1 out here in the 6th, and Johnston begins the windup. Frazier hits 1 foul. Dice Frazier, a walk and a strikeout so far. He's behind 0-1 to Johnston, whose gold jersey has become untucked, at least partially in the back. 0-1 pitch. Just downstairs of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases clear. Johnston trying to get the Kingsmen through this 6th, where we'll see 3, 4, 5 due up on the other side. Hits the bottom of the zone there to make it 1-2. It's Frazier and then C.J. Prentice. 7 and 8 next to hit here for the Blacksmiths. One and 2. And a chopper, first base side. Montgomery Hart sprints in on it and touches the bag with his left foot for another ground out. Johnston getting weak contact, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th.
Now batting, number 59, C.J. Prentice.
Two outs quickly here in the top of the 6th inning. Prentice hitting with nobody on. 0 for 2 on the day for the designated hitter. And Tate's first pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Now Tate started the season as the Submariner. You may remember that from a few early games on in this season, but they seem, at least for now, to have ceased that experiment. He's back to that 3/4 arm slot, closer to a traditional sidearm. It's 1-1 with 2 away. Hart, Burney, and Catani due up in the bottom half for the Kingsmen. 1-2 now, as that one sits down in the zone. Johnston pitching to Prentice. Ben Jenkins will hit in the top of the 6th if the inning continues. Johnston looking for a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 pitch. Curveball, poke third base side. Bo's ranging after it, but it's foul down the line and into left field.
What about 2 strikes? All right, here we go. What?
After the foul ball, it remains 1-2. And here comes Tate Johnston out of the windup again. And he broke the curveball in on him, and C.J. Prentice has been plunked. Here we're 2 away.
Now batting number 56, Ben Jenkins.
2 outs with the man on first. Ben Jenkins flew out his last time to center field, and he will look to keep this 6th inning alive for P27.
They're on the wrong side of the box.
Breaking ball high, throw down to first is not in time. Back safely with the throw to Hart from Catron. Ran that one inside off the glove of Catron, who couldn't snag it, and Prentice moves up to second as a result of the pass ball. A reminder that the Kingsman Corner is a weekly Kingsman baseball podcast on the YouTube channel, All Things Kingsman Baseball. There's a strike in there from Johnston. New episodes every weekend, and we're planning, we don't know when it's going to get recorded with the travel tomorrow, but we're planning to have an episode recorded and out for you on Sunday with myself and Coach Hudak, as always, chatting all things KBA. Big week upcoming, non-conference for both teams. And now 2-2 after the swing and a miss. So be on the lookout for more social media content as we get ready for that week. Any schedule updates will be updated on KingsmanBaseballAcademy.org, the 2026 schedule tab for you there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, man on second, and Johnston goes to the breaking ball. It's skied into shallow center. Ranging after it, the second baseman Thomas, who makes a nice play to end the inning. The pop out sends us to the bottom of the 6th as P27 blanked in the top half. The Kingsmen back to the bats when we come back. Varsity Baseball on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Into the bottom of the 6th, Montgomery Hart starts things off, left on left against Elijah Flack. 0-1 as that swing or that curveball got in there to make it 0-1. Another sweeper, 1-1 this time. Second baseman Seth Eckroff shifted over a few steps into shallow right field. Slightest of shifts against Hart. And the Kingsman bats. 1-1 to the leadoff man. And it's at the knees for strike number 2. That is high for ball 2. Interesting development on the coaching side for the Kingsmen. Coach Nick Osborne is now at the third base coaching position. I just saw Preston Hudak exit the third base side gate. So we'll see if Coach Osborne is now the acting manager. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
3-2.
3-2. Hart pokes at second base side. Backhand stop for Eckroth. He goes to first in time for out number 1.
Now batting, number 25, Christian Burney.
Christian Burney up for the 3rd time. Reached on an error his last time. He has been on base both times to the plate. He takes the ball there to start the at-bat, 1-0. That's low and away for ball 2. So if Coach Preston Hudak is indeed having to leave the ballpark for whatever reason, then that would mean Nick Osborne, not only is he the acting manager, he's the only coach down there in the dugout. So if he gets tossed, folks, you're going to be one broadcaster short. I'm going to have to head down there. 2-0. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Outside corner fastball to make it 3-1. So Bernie, then Catani and Bose. Check swing foul, 3-2. Christian Bernie fighting with a full count here in the bottom of the 6th. And he swings and misses, but that ball gets away from the catcher. Bernie hustling to first, and he is in there without a throw. Christian Bernie reaches on the drop third strike, so he finds a way on, and he's on with 1 out.
Now batting, number 11, Landon Catani.
Left on left matchup again with Dino at the plate. Runner on first and 1 out, and a big cut at the high fastball. 0-1. Here with 1 away. 0-1 pitch. Fastball in there to make it 0-2. Ashton Bose is on deck, the third baseman wearing the number 32. Glance at first, and now the pitch home. Strikes out Catani with the fastball.
Now batting, number 32, Ashton Bose.
2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. We'll enter the final inning after this, and it'll be 10-11-12 for P27. Bose takes a cut at a pitch high up of the zone, and it is 0-1. Time called. The glance at the first base side of the infield. There was a ball that escaped the P27 bullpen and made it onto the playing surface. Oh-1. Bose takes a hack again and comes up empty, 0-2. If the inning continues, Brody Winant will hit in the 7th spot. Bose pokes one foul to avoid the 3-pitch strikeout. See if Tate gets another inning in the 7th, or if the Kingsmen turn to one more arm. 0-2. And a line drive into left, coming in on it, making the dive, but unable to make the catch. Bernie heading to third, and the call to dive. Bernie's in there safely. Base hit for Ashton Bose, and Bernie moves first to third to put Kingsmen's runners on the corners.
Now batting, number 35, Brody Winant.
Winant, the next hitter for the Kingsmen, still searching for their first runs of the game. They have runners on the corners here in the 6th. First pitch. And Winant takes inside. The Kingsmen had second and first in the 5th. They had second and first in the 4th. They had a runner on second in the 3rd. They had runners on second and first in the 1st. And now 1-1. KBA trying to find something here in the second to last inning of the ball game. 1-1. And a line drive foul for strike number 2. Once again in the 7th, it'll be Aristi, Brinson, and Blankenship. The Kingsmen get another hitter to the plate. Jack Catron awaits his 3rd opportunity. 1-2 out of the hand of the lefty. And he strikes out Winant to end the inning. We go to the 7th, and it is still 7-0 here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Final inning of action as Tate Johnston pitches to Tony Soto and gets one returned to sender. Johnston throws to first, and there's one away. One pitch, one out here in the 7th. The Kingsmen will like that.
Now batting number 44, Smith Brinson.
Smith Brinson is into the game once again to hit with one out. And he takes a breaking ball on the outside corner. Confirmed in the middle of the inning that Nick Osborne is the acting manager of this varsity team. 0-1. That ball looked like it went off the handle. They're calling that a hit by pitch. Tate Johnston was throwing his hands up asking for a foul ball. That's what it looked like from up here. But Brinson shaking his hand at it, heads down to first base. And they're going to ask for a pinch runner for Smith Brinson, so maybe it did get one of his fingers. Either way, a new runner on first base for P27, and now Matt Blankenship, the hitter, with one away. First pitch high from Johnston, 1-0. Another ball to make it 2 balls and no strikes. Now one in the dirt by Catron, and the runner heads to second. It looks like Tony Soto is the pinch runner out there. Last recorded out, I guess. He's at second, and now the wild pitch has made it 3-0. Johnston pitching to the bottom of the order, Matt Blankenship. On the top of the order, and Eckroth, Munchell, and Dubrant are right around the corner. Johnston floats it in there. It's 3-1, taken all the way was Blankenship. He has a double and a sac fly. A couple balls to the outfield so far in the contest. And he misses for a one-out walk. Top of the order, Seth Eckroth. Hitting for the Blacksmiths of P27.
Now batting for 38, Seth Eckroth.
Go, Seth, right here, baby. Go, be aggressive.
There's a swing and a ground ball foul, 0-1. Once again, the Kingsmen will be back at it next week. Varsity baseball on Monday. Both teams squaring off against the Bennett School in Houston on Tuesday. And then the Prospect Kingsmen wrap up the week on Wednesday. The team will have the rest of the week off once they return from the Lone Star State. 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, runners on the move as that one got under Catron. 5-hole on the catcher from Raleigh. And it's second and third with one out. One and one pitch. Hard ground ball down the line. And that ball is called foul. The home plate umpire saying it hit off the orange base in foul territory rather than the white base in fair territory. You have that double base down the first base line. And the umpire voicing the fact that ball was foul. So it is 1-2, runners on second and third, one away. And now a swing and a miss gets Seth Eckroth. The third time he has struck out swinging today. Nearly just had himself a double, and instead there are two outs.
Now batting number 47, Bryce Munchell.
One's in there for a called strike. Oh, 1 out of the windup. Johnston pitches home, and it is blocked by Catron. Pop up, first base side, Hart tracking. That one gets out of play, 1-2. Johnson trying to get the Kingsmen out of the seventh. 1-2 pitch. High with the number 1. It's 2-2. After the fastball, we'll see what he draws up here. 2-2 pitch to the breaking ball. Poke third base side, past the dive of Bose, and 1 run, now 2, will come in to score. Munchell around first to second with the 2-out double. He hooked it just inside the foul line in a perfect spot to beat Bose at third base. So Dubron will hit with 2 away. Runner on second in a 9-0 ball game. 2 outs. The production from P27 to get more on the scoreboard. Pitch from Johnston. A breaking ball looped in there for strike 1 on the inner half. Bottom of the 7th, we'll see Catron, De La Cruz, and Thomas. 8, 9, 10 in the Kingsmen's order. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Tate Johnston coming set at the belt, and his 0-2 pitch high for a ball. If we see another hitter, it will be Andy Perez. There's a curveball slashed into center. De La Cruz back on it. Runner rounds third, but will not score as the catch is made in left field. We head to the bottom of the seventh, final half inning of this one. A couple more from P27. Give the Kingsmen work to do as we head to the game's final inning. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.
Down for Kingsmen in the bottom of the seventh and 14, Jack Hatron.
Bottom of the seventh, the Kingsmen varsity team. One more time at the bats here this afternoon. Getting ready for a week in Houston, Texas. First pitch coming to Jack Catron. Tyler Azaria on the mound. The right-hander has pitched twice already against the Kingsmen. In the various varsity games, the two teams have squared off in 0-1 to the Kingsmen catcher. At the knees, 0-2. Catron, De La Cruz, and Thomas. 8, 9, 10. Caden McNeil, Logan Daniel, and Montgomery Hart will hit if the Kingsmen can get a rally going. 0-2 to Jack Catron. And the pitch. Away from the zone, 1-2. 1-2 count. The pitch from his area. Off the plate. It got to the backstop. 2-2. Two pitch. The righty misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Missed the zone 3 times in a row. After starting off Catron 0-2. Catron is 0 for 2 today with a ground ball out and a strikeout. See what it can do here with the count full. 3-2 pitch. He took it inside. It's a walk to start the inning. Need to be a mighty rally for the Kingsmen to come back in this one, but it's a good way to start things.
Now batting number 15, Matthew De La Cruz.
1 ball, no strikes to Matt De La Cruz. Catron staying put at first as that ball high, 2-0. So Azaria struggling to find the zone here early on in his relief appearance. Looking for the unofficial save in this one. 2-0. De La Cruz thought about taking the cut, held it back. It is 2-1 as it dropped in on the outer half of the zone. Throw over to first, back safely goes Jack Catron. 2-1 is the count. Line drive left field, a base hit for De La Cruz. Matt De La Cruz getting things going here, and the Kingsmen with second and first, nobody out.
Let's go 3-4. Come on, Eli. Come on, Eli.
How about the production
Now
from Matt De La
34.
Cruz toward the bottom of
Eli
the Kingsmen
Thomas.
order? Right on right matchup now. Eli Thomas, who walked aboard his last time, will hit. Then we'll see McNeil. First pitch high, 1-0. One and 0 to the Kingsmen second baseman. Breaking ball dropped in there at the bottom of the strike zone. 1-1 with nobody out here. In Boiling Springs, North Carolina, the site for the game today. Kingsmen and P27 wrapping things up, a non-conference varsity matchup. 1-1 pitch. Low and away, 4-2.
Nobody better out there. 3-4. Come on. Good, Jack. Nobody.
2-1 pitch. And Eli rips it shortstop side, fielded cleanly by Munchell. He goes to second for 1 and to first for the double play. It was just a little off the end of the bat for Eli Thomas. And the shortstop playing a little bit into that left field gap, making a nice backhand play on the ball, getting the ball quickly to his middle infielder, and they were able to turn 2. So, Kingsmen down to their final out. Caden McNeil, 2 hits in a row in this ball game. Trying to score the Kingsmen's first run. First pitch from his area. Breaking ball away, 1-0. These two teams will square off again right here at Gardner-Webb University in 2 weeks' time. As McNeil pops the ball sky high into shallow right. The second baseman is called off by Blankenship, and Matt Blankenship makes the catch to end the ball game. Final score, 9-0. The Kingsmen just could not get it going against P27 today. They fall in the non-conference battle without a run. Thank you for joining us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long from Bill Masters Field on the campus of Gardner-Webb University. We'll be back on Monday, varsity baseball against the Bennett School in Houston, Texas. Can't wait for that one. Those 4 games will be for you on the Kingsmen Baseball YouTube channel Monday through Wednesday. Join us then. I'm Griffin Leonard saying goodbye once more. Final score 9-0. Thanks for joining us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.